I've been telling you all year about the Mets pitching and how it's going to fall apart, right?
Yeah.
So listen to me when I say this too. Justin Crawford very well may be ultimately a very good Major League Baseball player. And I hope he is. Right now, at his tender age, he's hitting so many balls into the ground in AAA. He's getting hits because it's AAA. When you come up to the majors and you got to go against Major League pitching, you're going to hit those balls into the ground and you're going to get thrown out at first base every time. And you don't want more Johan Rojas. Now, I think Crawford is far better than Rojas ultimately, right? But right now, do you want that? And I think that's why the Phillies are being very, very careful with this. Do I think he's probably going to get a call up? I do. I think he's going to get a chance to play a little bit, but I don't think that they are so 100% certain that this is the solution. And I think fans think it's a solution. And it for 2025, I'm not convinced it's a solution. It's something to look at, something to consider, but I don't think it's a solution. But yet, when that happens, if that happens, let's say it happens here in the next couple of weeks, is Brandon Marsh, Otto Kemp your left field platoon then?
Well, I think that Otto Kemp is the left field platoon from the right side for the month of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I don't see how, and that's why I think that the Kepler thing might sour sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because we talked a little bit about this on Friday, I believe. I actually think I raised this point. Like, those two players are somewhat redundant. One happens to be younger and better and under team control beyond this year. So I think that Brandon Marsh certainly should play in any scenario over Max Kepler. Now, the only argument that you can make for Kepler in the short term is that he does have 9 home runs. And on this team, that makes you Babe Ruth. Brandon Marsh has not really had the overall power. So do you want to further take out whatever little slug that you have against right-handed pitching and diminish it further? But otherwise, no. I mean, it feels like a no-brainer. Just when you look at the stats, better on base, better batting average. He's a better player, better overall player, better energy.
Yeah.
The whole thing. So, yeah, I mean, but the problem is with Crawford, like, and by the way, just because you hit a lot of balls on the ground doesn't mean that you can't be a good major league hitter. I mean, right now, Yelich, 57.7 is the highest ground ball percentage in major leagues this season. Yandy Diaz is 2. Ellie De La Cruz is 3. William Contreras is 4. The dude out in Oakland, Wilson, is 5. I mean, these are good hitters, a lot of these guys, right? Conversely, scroll down a little further, Alec Boehm's 9th, just for what it's worth. Tatis Jr., 10th. So, like, you can hit the ball on the ground at a high rate, 50% of the time or more, and still be successful Major League Baseball player. And Crawford has elite speed, and he should be able to find his way on base. But you're right. And if you look at his ground ball percentage this season, it's 61%. So that's 3% higher than the highest in the league this year. And it's not against AAA pitching, or it's not against Major League pitching. So I do think that that's problematic. And the other issue is that this team desperately needs slug. Well, of all the things that Justin Crawford does, one of them is not slug. So he's not going to rectify that issue either. I don't know. I just don't think that Justin Crawford is a true difference maker in this lineup. And I don't mean that to say that he can't play. I don't mean that to say that it might not just be refreshing to look at somebody else. You know how ready I am to move on from Johan Rojas in any capacity. So just letting the kid play every day, maybe giving the team a different energy, a different look. He can create some chaos on the bases. Like, I'm for it. I'm not saying don't do it, but I just don't think it's the cure-all that some people seem to think. They're not bringing up Ken Griffey Jr. here.
Right. Exactly. And that's the part that it's like, I think that sometimes we overreact, right? And I think that that's what it really needs to be. Temper the expectations. If in fact this call-up happens, and I think it's going to happen, I'm not 1,000% it's going to happen, but I think it is. I think he's going to get called up, and Rojas is probably going to go down. The problem is, the other thing you got to wonder about is if they become very, very left-handed, even more so than they already are, right? I mean,
this team needs another left-handed hitter.
Yeah, just what they need is another left-handed hitter. But I do think that you might see something like he comes up, Rojas goes down. Maybe they get rid of Kepler, and
Now,
and
to be fair though, I mean, and again, he's had almost a quarter of the at bats against lefties that he had against righties this year. But Crawford's hitting .426 against left-handed pitching so far this season. He's hitting .311 against righties. Now, so is he immune to that? Hopefully,
Yeah.
What do you, if I had to kind of paint you into a corner here, like what is the timeline? If they do it, do you think it's like a August 1 thing? Do you think it's a let's see what we have the month of July thing?
I think they might give him a couple weeks in July, right? Come out of the All-Star break, face the red hot Los Angeles Angels, and who are knocking on the door for the playoffs all of a sudden. Which I freaking can't believe that either. That's a stunner of all stunners in baseball. But I like that to me would make the most sense. But I mean, I don't know. Like, things are so bad offensively right now that I could see it happening even sooner.